Hey friends, Dave here. Welcome to another installment of Jesus with a Twist. Um, I've been thinking about this, and I don't know if you're old enough to remember this before the digital age, but radio tuners used to have a little knob on it where you dial it up, dial it up, dial it up until the radio station starts to come in, and you keep dialing it and it gets stronger, 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 and then you keep dialing it some more, and then it gets weaker, 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 and then you dial back and forth until you get the strongest signal. I believe that in life there's all sorts of radio stations or frequencies that we can listen to. By definition, it's what we can obsess on. It's what we can see. It's what we want to see. And Jesus is no different. Jesus is that specific radio frequency that we've got to tune until it comes in loud and clear. The better we are attuned to Jesus's frequency, the more grounded we are in Jesus, and that's really a good space to be. I think that from my point of view, when we're grounded in Jesus, we tend to try to emulate more things like Jesus and do things that are righteous. And that gives us a good feeling and a sense of joy that we're doing the right things. Inversely, if we're tuned the other way and we're grounded on other things, at an extreme would be Satan. We're tuned into Satan, and all we see are things satanic or things of that nature. You know, why Jesus is bad, etc., etc. What happens is we're doing things that are ungodly, and that creates guilt, a sense of guilt. We understand the book of Genesis and how Adam and Eve took a bite from the forbidden pomegranate, and they were fine beforehand, but after God said don't eat this, and they took a bite of it, they were racked with guilt, and in fact they're hiding in the bushes from God as if God couldn't see them in the bushes because of this guilt. And so my belief is that if we're tuned into Jesus and we're doing things more like Jesus, more righteous, and doing selfless acts of kindness for other people, we're going to get this sense of happiness and well-being. Inversely, we tune over to the other station, and it's going to be a distraction, and quite possibly we may not be doing things godly, and which manifests guilt and all of those things, and we've already discussed that. So my appeal to everyone is to think about this, particularly for non-believers. You know, what we dwell on is what creates our reality, and so, in my view, it's appropriate to zero in on things that create positive thinking. It's actually called autosuggestion in psychological terms. So what we program our mind to see and believe becomes our reality. So instead of tuning over here, why not tune over here? How do you do that? I think you just take a leap of faith, you pray, you have faith, you lean into Jesus, repeat. And if we do that enough times, then we're really focused in on these things. Probably not unlike playing sports or things like that. If we really focus keenly on that, chances are that we're going to get to be pretty good at it. So again, my appeal to you is to really tune into Jesus's frequency, lean into Jesus, have faith in prayer, and then watch this thing blow up. And then, of course, inspiring others through agape love. Anyways, I'm lingering. My name is Dave. From Lynn and I, we wish you our very best with love, and have a great day. By the way, if you like what you heard, please hit subscribe and share it with your friends, because these messages, as you share them with a friend, that's how people learn these things, and it starts rippling around the world, and that's a good thing too. So again, I'm Dave. Have a great day. I love you. Bye.